Hello and welcome back. So this is page layout 2 of our pumpkin spice scrapbooking workshop, and this one is a little bit more detailed, so there are a couple little things we have to pay attention to, but overall it's a really cute layout. So this is number 1, and then this will be number 2, but let's get started with number 1. So as you can see, and according to the instructions for the cutting instructions, you have this pretty paper that you cut down to 9 1/4, and the other one is 9 1/2. And to me, so you're covering up a big portion of this pretty background paper, and as you know me, I like to save my papers, especially this pretty one. So I went ahead, so this is 9 1/4, this one is 9 1/4, I think. Yeah. And I left myself like a 2-inch frame here on either side and cut out this middle piece. And you go like, what? Yes, because this has this new nice pretty background paper here, and I like that one too, so this gives me an extra piece. And then this hole that we just created, we're gonna cover up anyway with this paper, so no harm done. I just gonna go ahead and put some adhesive on the frame here. And then we adhere this down. If my adhesive doesn't give up on me. Okay, that should be plenty. Oops, that was a little bit too much. There we go. Okay, so stripes going horizontal, and it tells me we're about 1 3/4 from the top, which means we are 1 3/4 from either side. And there's 1 and there's 3/4, so we need to move down just a little bit. And that should be fine. And then we adhere our trim piece here. And the base is done. Okay. Now to the pumpkins. 2 things. So there are gonna be pictures behind the pumpkin, and actually they're not in the regular size. So what can we do to assemble the workshop, even so we right now don't really know what picture we're gonna put in there, and how do we get the picture behind? So one thing we can do is when we adhere the pumpkin later, to make sure that we only put adhesive like a little bit here on the bottom, a little bit here on the top, and maybe a little bit here, just to keep it down. Leave these edges open so you can slide your picture behind. But in the ideal world, if you have your pictures already ready, we could adhere them to the back, and then you just trim them around here. But naturally that doesn't happen all the time. So what I usually do, if I would do this layout and take it to a crop to sell and don't know yet what kind of pictures the people use, well, normally I would stick these in as placeholders so people know exactly, oh, that's the picture I want to put behind there. But and we still can do that. But what I also do is, and what I will put in the pouch too, is from the die cuts, when you're taking out all your die cuts and everything. See, this is the centerpiece that came out of these. I keep those because that way they can use it as a template. Put this on their picture and then just cut a little bit bigger around, and then when you're done you slide it in, and when it's a little bit bigger it will fit right behind your frame. So that is my idea on how to, you know, get around. If you have your pictures right now, you can adhere, put adhesive down here, put your picture down, but don't put it too far over, like halfway. And then you have to trim around here and trim whatever is sticking out away. So since we can't do this, we have to, you know, work a little bit around all this, but that's okay. Let's start with the pieces. So this pumpkin, there are already pieces that come with the punch out, and I got them here. So here are 2 pieces. One went AWOL. There's another piece. These go behind and they fill in these edges. Here's your stem, your leaf, and I don't know what this is called, the little squirrely. So let's start by assembling, putting together those 2 pieces. And this just lines up perfectly. And again, when you have the liquid adhesive, you can move it around, as you can see, and make sure it sits right on top. Now the leaf is attached to the pumpkin a little bit. So I, in their suggestion, they have it hang out like this, which we could do. And then put the stem down. So that would mean we have to wait till we put it on the page, because this will go like so on the page. So these are the pieces that go together. So let's put those 3 on here for now. And the tricky part is here. You need adhesive really just on these edges. Thankfully, you don't need a lot of adhesive because it's just a little piece of paper. Get this one off here. And now I'm sticking to everything. Okay. Let's put a little bit more around here. And the top here. And place our paper down. And we do the same with this side. Double check. Looks good. And the last piece. Okay, so the back side is covered. I'm not too worried if there's a little bit of adhesive that oozed out on the inside. It will dry clear, so we're good. Now we have to remember, so this is where we're gonna slide the picture in, or whoever gets the kit. So what we have to do is put a little bit adhesive on here. We can put adhesive on these pages, and that should hold the whole thing in place, because we don't want to put adhesive anywhere where we want to slide the photo in. And that should be all for now. Now I have to move this aside and get my page. So here's our page. And here's our big pumpkin. And that one goes about here. Yeah, if there's a little bit of adhesive, we just let it dry and later go back in and use maybe the eraser and erase it if there's anything. But some might be covered up by stickers anyway, so we're good. Okay, now the stem. So the stem sits on top, and again, we have to be careful that we don't put it in where we want to slide the picture in. So in this case, I put a little bit adhesive on the bottom here. And then only a little bit on this side, so it sticks to the paper, but still allows us to get underneath here. Okay, our little loop. Again, it doesn't need much adhesive. I'm gonna stick this underneath here. And then our leaf. Leaf just stays there. Okay, so now we should be able to push picture behind here. There we go. And then the other one should slide in here. Okay, now there's a bigger, and yeah, these are all the pieces that go with it. So here's another big pumpkin that sits right next to it. And this one also has a piece that goes on top. And then this one is about here. So this one overlaps a little bit, this picture, but what we're gonna do is make sure we only adhere like half of it, because if I put too much adhesive here, when I lift this up to get my picture in, I need to have room to move it in. And if this is too far adhered down, it won't work. So we're gonna put a little bit adhesive on this one. And I'm pretty much just going on the outside, because when you look at the design on the middle, pretty much is that picture that we're gonna put on there anyway. So if you want to, you can do a few here and there, but it's not really necessary. Okay, let's see if we can adhere this to our base. Moving it over just slightly and up here. And this is good to go. Okay. So yeah, we remember only a little bit on the bottom. So like halfway maybe. That will be fine. And actually you could use this also to tuck behind maybe some hidden journaling or something like that. So there's my picture. Sorry, I got adhesive on my fingers everywhere. All right, let's put our little stem in first. So these are 2 parts again. Oops, forgot to pop this up. As you can see, the pieces come out really easy. And here we go. And this one actually disappears a little bit behind our picture. So remember not to put adhesive all the way on the, because we want the top to be open. So we just place this like here. And then we have this little leaf here that is actually tucked right behind here. So what I will do with this one is I'm just gonna adhere this to the page. And this way. So this is open. Sorry to get in your way. Just gonna put a little bit adhesive on here so it lifts up with. There you go. If you ever get adhesive that oozed out that's in your way or it's sticky, you wait till it's dry and then you take that's a special adhesive eraser, and you can take all these little oozed out edges off so it's not going to be sticky anymore. But you have to wait till it's dry. Don't do it when it's still wet. You're just creating a mess. You have to be patient and wait till it's dry. Okay. Now this picture goes like right here. Then for the top here, we have, these are stickers, all 5 of them. But these ones actually come as an entire flag. And they only need a little bit. So what you do is you just cut the part off that you need. And keep the rest for a different occasion. So this one's a little bit longer. So this one goes about here. And then we have these 3 stickers here. One says, "Welcome to Autumn." One says, "Happy Fall." And then "Home Sweet Home." And it really fits nicely. Remember, this piece won't be there, so okay. Then we have a cluster of our pumpkins, and just to show you how easy these things come out, so I already punched the base out, and then this is the top, and the top has all these little pieces in here, and all you do is take them out, and they really come out super easy, and then place it on top of that pumpkin base. And always remember, don't put adhesive on the base, because you know you don't know where those little openings are here, so you always want to put adhesive on the piece that you're placing down. That way you know you're not getting over the edge or getting too much adhesive on places where you don't want it. All right, there's one pumpkin, and this one goes about here. There's another one that goes about here. There's a little sticker that goes right here. There's a cute little sticker saying, "Hey Pumpkin," right in here. And then we have this is called Thankful Moment, and that goes in between and a little bit on here. So what I do with this one, normally I would, like I've shown you in the past, just use my embossing buddy to clean those out, but you can also just take your scissors and cut in the groove here where the sticker normally comes out, and clean it up that way. That way you leave the backing on. You don't have to worry about the powder getting everywhere. And then it's not sticky on the back side either. I normally do this like these things are pretty straightforward to cut. It's not very complicated. If you have some that have more delicate edges, you might not want to do this, but right now that's perfect. So this one's not sticky, and we can actually place it on our layout here. And I left this corner open because it overlaps the picture here, and I left this side open too because it overlaps the picture right here. So there you go. Now the reason why I haven't adhered this pumpkin yet is, so now we have to go back and get the wooden stickers out. So there are these little pumpkins here, acorns, there's a gore, and then we have these two hearts that are all from the wooden sticker sheet. And the part that I wanted to show you last time where my camera didn't record, you saw me peeling off the stickers out of the package carefully, and I use the packaging underneath here, so it's not gonna be sticking to my layout. And we need two smaller acorns, and I use my stylus just to push them out a little bit. So there's one, and here's the other one. And then we need a gore, and I think that is the one that I used. And it comes out somewhat easy, but it is very delicate, so you have to be careful. And I tell you, that sticky stuff is really sticky. And then we need 2 hearts, a bigger one and a smaller one. So let's grab this one here. And this one here. And that should be it. Now, so this gore goes, oh, and we need a leaf. This one here. And what they did with the leaf is they actually put a little bit, excuse me, color on the leaf, and I'm just gonna use my ink pad. I have a little sponge dauber laying around. Use that. I just use a regular little sponge here and just sponge it up. So that's another thing you can do with these wooden pieces. You can just color them in a little bit if you wanted to. And then they also did a little sponging on the hearts. And I assume it's with the paprika, but you can take whatever color you have. And they just did the top of each heart a little bit. So let's try the other side here. And just get this, the top a little bit sponged. Okay, nothing major. Now, in the previous video, I showed how sticky these things are. So when you peel the backing off, if you can't get the backing off, don't worry about it. Just put adhesive down and on this part and adhere this way to your page, because it is a little bit tricky. And when you get it going, carefully remove it so you don't rip the wooden pieces apart. There you go. And it is super sticky. There's one heart. And let's do the second one. And you want to avoid touching right in the middle of this. Just grab it by the edge, because you will not get these off your fingers once they stuck to your fingers. I can tell you that. I did a little head here too. Let's see, I got a little bit red here left on my sponge, not a lot, but it works. Maybe a little bit blue on the other one. There you go. So same procedure, trying to get the backing off carefully, especially when you have, like this one has a little cut line in it, so you don't rip them apart. There's one. And then let's do the other one. And here we go. And these wooden pieces are really nice. They're so small and so thin. Now the big one, again, it's got these cut lines in here, so you want to be careful when you're removing the paper. I'm gonna try and start with the top here and see if this will there come off, and then you just have to carefully, little by little, and again, try not to grab it in the middle anywhere. What you could do is put it down somewhere here and then pull the backing off. We got our little leaf. I'm telling you, my fingers even stick together. Okay, the little leaf goes behind here. And then I would say we just raise this pumpkin since it's already, everything is a little bit multiple layers, so that just gives it more interest, makes it look nice. Okay. Remove the backing. Place our pumpkin here. And voila, this page is done. So I will wait till everything is dry, make sure there's no adhesive somewhere stuck on the back or not, and then we're good to go. So there is the one side of the layout, and I really love these wooden pieces, and like you can see, you can color them, and you can use a little bit shimmer brush if you have glitter shimmer, or even gold here a little bit, and can add that to the wooden pieces, which gives it a little bling, makes it really look pretty. A little bit extra shimmer. Okay, moving on to page 2. So page 2, I did the same thing I did with the other one. Most of the inside is going to be covered up by this square. So again, I cut out a centerpiece for extra, and I will cover this up with this piece. And then we have a whole bunch of stickers and little clusters we have to make, so I'm gonna start on those in a second. Let's start with the photos or let's put the background on first. Here's another pumpkin. Again, you just pop out those little pieces here. They really pop out easy. Some you might already lose when you try to get the whole thing out of the carrier sheet. And then here we have the cover. Put some adhesive on here. And push these two together. And there's our pumpkin. Now let's put adhesive on So this one is also about an inch and a quarter. So about here. Just make sure it's kind of centered. That's looking good. And again, I moved it over a little bit, so there's a little bit adhesive, but that's fine. All right. Now let's start with our photo mats. So there are multiple photos on this one. There's one. There's this big one here on top. Another 3x3. So this layout has quite a few more pictures on it, and this one is vertical. So just making sure they are evenly spaced. And there you have it. That's where all picture frames are going down, so that's pretty easy. Then we have this big pumpkin here. So let's go ahead and adhere these first. Just a tad further down. I think that looks good. Then we have this one here. Which goes about here. And we have another one right here. title here about. And the last one down here. Now to our clusters. So this pumpkin is about here. Then we have some boots. Gonna be around here. We have this little gore here. We have a leaf here. And we have this big pumpkin here. So okay. Now this pumpkin, what I do is I'm gonna put some adhesive just in the middle. Just in the middle of it. That way, when it's overlapping the photos, it's not going to interfere with anything. Okay, this is a sticker that we can just tuck right underneath here. We have this little gore. And then we have these cute little boots here. We have this leaf. And then, okay, I think the other ones are wooden elements, so should we do those right away? Wooden element one is a little leaf, like this one here, and one of the little acorns. Here's one more. For this side, so okay, I give it a try to really get rid of the paper, and it works, but you have to be careful. We like see there how quickly it can rip. So when you put this down, make sure I mean, you could put the two pieces together down back, but it's just really delicate. And here is the leaf, which we can tuck underneath this little guy here, and we're good to go. Okay, now let's build the cluster on top there. And well, this little leaf here is so if our pumpkin goes around here. So this one I'm trying to put it over here so it's not interfering with the photo that somebody's gonna put there. And the edge of the pumpkin will reach into the photo, so I just used the static tool so you can slide your picture behind there without problem. Okay. Then we have a few little acorns. There's one. There's another one. And another small one. Well, these are all very big. Let me see, can we lift this up carefully? We can. Okay. So here's a little one. There. And then we put the medium size down here. There's more room anyway. And so we put our acorn there. Perfect. Okay. And then we have one last. And this one uses one of the big pieces here. So now this is super sticky and I'm not really comfortable on putting this on top or above a photo. So let me see if we can arrange this maybe a little bit different. Yeah, we pull this further down. That way we can there's our leaf. There's the pumpkin. Here's the other pumpkin. And then again, this is one of these stickers, but I might not want to use it as a sticker, so I'm just going around the trim line here, hand cut it, and that way I don't have to use the embossing pouch, the embossing pouch with the, I don't know, with cornstarch or whatever is in there to prevent it from being sticky. This is easier because it's such a big piece. You could always just pop it on top of a piece of cardstock and cut it out, but it's thick enough here, so that should work. Okay. This is the sign that goes down here and it overlaps the pictures just slightly. So in this case, it's way easier for me to, you know, put something down there. Let's put some sticky. Some foam tape. You don't really need that much, but it just makes it easier right now. Okay, peel the backing off, and then we stick this down so we can work on the cluster down there. Okay, so a little bit on the bottom of these two and a little bit over here. And it's done. Okay, so now this little guy we want to put here right at the edge. And then this one. Stucking all leaf behind here. And then acorn. And another little tiny acorn, which, okay, sometimes the sizes are hard to guess. So I guess we have to deal with this one then. Let me take this off for a second. Try to remove the adhesive of the So we stick the one here first, and then take our little sticker and stick it over here. There we go. Okay, and this pretty much finishes up our second page layout. So here you have a lot more pictures on one page. We have, this is our first page, and remember we cut out some extra paper that we can use in one of the, with another layout maybe. And so this is the one side of the layout. This has to be trimmed, but other than that it's fine. And I hope you can see the shimmer a little bit here. We inked those up, so you can ink these little wooden pieces up if you want to, and I might go back at the end and do a few more with a little brush or so to see. But other than that, I think that's a pretty nice layout number 2. All right, stay tuned for one last one.